Hello everyone, and welcome to Mystic Fantasy Craft. My name is Ben, and today I just wanted to bring you a quick video to talk about what I think is the best choice for small businesses and beginners for 3D printing in 2021. So, as you may or may not know, we run a small business that involves lots of 3D printing. We now have 7 3D printers, and I'm sure, as you can see in the background here, it's not going to be a surprise to anybody that my choice for the best printer for small businesses and beginners is definitely the Artillery Sidewinder X1 version 4. So there you go, here's the video. No, I'm just kidding. So a little bit of background. I've owned probably 5 different brands of 3D printers now. 2 versions of the MakerBot. I've earned a couple versions of these mini Deltas from Monoprice when I was first starting off. I've owned the Artillery Sidewinder, and I've owned the Creality line. And the reason I think that the Artillery Sidewinder is just the best printer for beginners especially, and just all around, is really kind of comes down to these direct drive extruders. And what that means, as you can see in the video, is the plastic comes down directly into the extruder head here, and there's no PTFE tubing along the way. So this would be an example. This is what's called a Bowden style extruder, if you can see that, because the motor that pushes is actually coming from up here, and it feeds into the printer head. Whereas with a direct drive, the motor is actually right at the print head. And for those of you who don't know much about 3D printing, that might not mean much, but essentially for me it means it's a lot easier to troubleshoot because I don't have to deal with tubing running the whole way. I don't have to deal with trying to push plastic in and out. And so for me, the direct drive is a no-brainer. Now, I know that there's been some concerns on other channels about these printers, but I can tell you definitively we have 7 of these printers now, and these 4 behind me in particular have been running pretty much non-stop since November of 2019, and we've only had to replace the printer heads on these 2. And that was with basically 24/7 printing for an entire year, which is really great when it comes to 3D printing, because the thing you have to remember with 3D printing is it involves heat and moving parts. So I guess what I'm going to do is I will pull the camera in here. I'll tell you a little bit more about the the Artillery Sidewinder, and I'll tell you why I think it's great for small businesses. So I'll bring us in here real quick. Alright, so as you can see, this is kind of an overview of the Sidewinder in action. Right now I'm printing a cup in actually a wood filament, which is really nice. So let's just go over kind of the key things here. Up top here you can see this is what I was talking about with a direct drive extruder. As you can see, the plastic is going straight in, the engine is, or the motor is hosted right there. Everything is all contained in here. So if I ever have an issue, I know that I can just go straight to this direct drive extruder, and I can take it apart. I don't have to fiddle with trying to fit it through tubes and stuff. I have to say, I genuinely hated working on printers with Bowden style extruders, and I will probably never go back to them if I'm honest. The next feature I really like is the build plate. So in the Y direction here, you have 300 millimeters. In the X direction here, you have 300 millimeters of space. And in the Z direction, which is your height, you can go up to 400 millimeters. So in the King's English, that's roughly 1 foot by 1 foot by 15 inches. So you can make some pretty big stuff on there. I've printed things all the way running from like a Mandalorian breastplate to just some really big size stuff. Additionally, if we come back up here, you can see that the Sidewinder comes with, this is a filament detection sensor, just a real quick thing. So if this were to run out of filament, the printer would just start screaming at you. So this is good for if you know you're not going to have quite enough filament to go on a print. You just run it through there. That's a nice feature. And then everything else about this is pretty streamlined. Let me pull back a little here. You've got your basic touchscreen here where you run all your commands. I run everything off a USB stick. That's all pretty standard. And the bed is heated, obviously. This is a ceramic glass bed. No special sticking required. You know, you hear all the time about people with Crealities and some of the cheaper printers where you have to put painter's tape on the printer head or on the print bed, or you have to put glue sticks down or stuff like that. This is just the stock bed, nothing added to it. We just leveled it. Sometimes we wipe it off with some IPA alcohol, and that's about it. I mean, these printers are as maintenance free as you can possibly get them. And like I said, I've been running these for 24 hours a day for the better part of a year. And as you can see, the print quality on these is really nice. I'll put out a video later for anyone interested in my tuning settings on these. But I mean, these, let me just pull something into frame here. These print out some really high quality stuff. I mean, that cup is coming out great. This is a print I did on a set of armor that I'm doing. I mean, the print lines are very good right off the bat. Now, I know for some people that a $400-ish price tag can be a little bit daunting, but I think for this unit goes on sale pretty often for less than $400. And I think in the sub $400 category, you really can't do anything better than the Artillery Sidewinder. I have, as I mentioned, I have 7 of these. I have no complaints. They run really great for me, and I very rarely have any issues, if at all. And when I do have issues, the troubleshooting is nice and easy because it's a direct drive printer. So that was just my quick review. My vote for the best printer of 2021 and 2020 so far is the Artillery Sidewinder X1, and these are all version 4s. That's kind of important if you're getting them from Amazon. Sometimes they sell the older versions, but this is my vote for the best printer of 2020. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. But otherwise, if you want to follow more 3D printing tips and tricks and stuff like that, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.